What's going on, guys? T2RX6 here, back for another Transformers review, and today we're taking a look at the Generations Rattrap. And you know what? This guy's alright. He's pretty good. Unlike Rhinox, who I had a lot of complaints about, I actually don't have too many complaints about Rattrap here. He does have a little bit of a lack of articulation on this back leg. It kind of, you can move it a bit, but it looks best like this, otherwise you start exposing a lot of robot stuff there. But that's okay. The feet have a good range of articulation on them, which kind of makes up for it. The front paws, however, they do have a great range of articulation. Just now the feet are actually lacking. They can spin, but it's pretty tough to get them around in there. Some pretty nice molded detail on the feet, to be honest. It's pretty interesting. I wasn't expecting that personally. And of course the mouth, if you want. It seems like every beast former has to have a mouth that can move like that and open. But one of my favorite things, I think, is that the head here can be rotated down, and there's actually a panel underneath that, you know, hides all the, like, the head of the robot and stuff to kind of make it feel more natural, which is nice because, as I recall in Beast Wars, Rattrap actually stood up quite a few times, and you can actually rotate his feet like that and, you know, mess with his hands like so. And, yeah, I mean, that works, and it looks pretty good. So I have no real complaints, and things hold together nice and solid. I haven't had to do any touching up on this guy like I have with Rhinox. The downside, I guess, of pretty much any beast former, actually pretty much any Transformers, if you flip it over and look at the bottom, you see all of the robot. It's a little bit less elegant in a beast former, though, because you do have to contour to the shape of the animal. So it leaves you things like the hands and stuff sticking out, which has been a problem for things like Dinobot and stuff too. But, you know, I guess I have to look past that given the limitations of the toy. So let's actually bring in some of his fellow beasts. We got Rhinox here, and still, you know, let me be honest about Rhinox here. I still am not a huge fan of him, but he's a great update to the character, and that's, I guess, good enough for me. So that's why he stays in my collection. This guy is not a good update to the character. This is Cheetor, and I would love to see him get a redo with the more modern technology. And of course, we've got Dinobot here in the background, also someone I wouldn't mind seeing get a modern take on things. And then this is actually the Beast Wars Optimus Primal, and I frankly think he still holds up pretty solidly as the Optimus Prime counterpart for, you know, this particular display. Alright, so let's get Rattrap transformed here, and we'll start by taking out his gun, which is awkwardly placed between his legs. And real quick, the gun can come apart here to make like a pistol and some kind of rifle, but personally I think it looks best when it's together like this. So we'll put that back together, and we'll just put that to the side. And we'll get on with Rattrap here. So the way I like to start here is to fold these panels on up as best we can. We can maybe get them up there a little bit more after, but just kind of get them out of the way, and then move these arms on out like so. Then I come out here and I extend the legs as best as I can, and fold this tail up like this, and that'll let you kind of move this whole backpack piece up, and that's pretty much how the back is gonna sit. So we can bring these legs down, and you can see they're super duper wobbly like this, but what we're gonna do is find the right place to, you know, line up these pieces here, and once you got them lined up, push it in so they stop wobbling around, and then rotate this like thigh piece, I guess you would call it, all the way around. And I really like that it has this cutout and this little tab that the tab itself rotates around, so when you take the front of the legs here and you straighten out the plate, they actually tab right on in there and make a really nice secure connection. And then you just take Rattrap's rat foot and just kind of fold it on in, so it, you know, provides extra stability there in his robot mode. So really neat piece of engineering on the leg, and this is the kind of thing that I think that worked really cool to see this modern technology, I guess, worked on into this toy that I didn't feel was present in Rhinox there, to be honest. But and just the fact that the whole toy like feels better and holds together better, you know, that earns him extra points in my book. So we'll go ahead and flip these arms on out, rotate the head on down, and then you can take the little shell piece that covers his head and fold it on in to expose his whole head there, like this. And now we'll just work on cleaning up his arms. You got these little shoulder bits that kind of tilt up like this. And we can rotate his shoulders on down and just kind of clean everything up so his hands are facing the right way here, like so. And then it's pretty much from here, you just gotta figure out what you want to do with these little back hands. I personally like to kind of give them a little bit of a rotation and have them just hanging off like this. I think that looks the best personally. And yes, his tail does kind of work like a tripod to help hold him up a little bit. I don't think he really needs it. I think his feet are actually pretty good, but you know, it is nice, though it does kind of can get in the way when you're trying to pose him if you wanted to. But yeah, this is Rattrap, and we'll give him his gun here. He looks good. I mean, it's a well done representation of Rattrap from the TV show. The head looks fantastic. The whole bot looks pretty fantastic. The articulation is great. We only have the head swivel on this particular guy. The shoulders are on the ball joint here, so you get plenty of range there. Then you get the elbow swivel, the elbow joint. The wrists look like they rotate, but they don't. There's no waist. You do have a ball joint down here along with the thigh swivel, and then a nice knee joint that gets a pretty good range. And that's it for articulation, but it's good. It's solid for this toy. And every joint feels good. Like, none of the joints feel super cheap or anything, like some of the Dark of the Moon toys, or I'm sorry, Age of Extinction toys. So also on this one arm, you do have the bonus of popping it open, and he's got these little grenades here that kind of come out. I am not sure if that's what they look like in the show. It's been a while since I've seen the show, so I'm not sure. I can't speak to their accuracy, but it's a cool little feature nonetheless. So let's take this guy and let's compare him to some of his other Maximals here. We'll start with Rhinox because he's right here. And again, pretty nice scale. And honestly, he scales really nicely with even the old, you know, Universe guys, making him smaller in both Dinobot and crappy Cheetor here. God, he looks so awful. He is the worst toy ever. And there we go. There's Optimal Optimus, and you know what? That doesn't make a horrible looking shelf. I wouldn't mind seeing some more things kind of work their way out in the 30th anniversary of Beast Wars, which I believe, actually 25th for Beast Wars, if I recall correct. I'd love to see these two get a new update, maybe a little bit bigger, but you know, the fact that they're still bigger than Rattrap makes me content. So let's get Rattrap back to his rat mode and let's get out of here for the day. We're going to start by bringing the head up, and what I usually do is bring it all the way up and then rotate it down, and that'll give this little sleeve thing starting to move, so we can actually push that up into its proper position. Then I put the head all the way back on up. Then we come down to the legs here. I separate these out by unpegging them, and then get that like 1/4 way bend on the leg, and then just kind of fold it as far in as you can. So again, unpeg, 1/4 way, fold it on in. Now I come to these thigh things. I swivel these on all the way through, and at this point now this thing will telescope in and out again, and we'll do it to the other side. There we go, just like that. And I take the arms here, fold down the little extra shoulder bits, and fold these on in, like so. And make sure you have your legs as best you can out of the way, because the arms do need to sit in between. And then fold these so you have the grenade side facing upwards, like that. And they're going to just basically sit in between the legs as all this stuff is going to come together. So once we have this, we'll take the back of the rat here and kind of unfold everything like this. And then this is where you have to make sure you have the legs right. So the little telescopy bit actually can move in and out here. You want to make sure you have it all the way in, and then just kind of work it into position here. Whoops. Around the back of the rat here. And you'll see that these little like C-clips here, basically they don't like clip into place, but they should just kind of, I don't know if you can see that, fit around the piece that telescopes out like that. So really hard to kind of show that on camera, but kind of bring this out, make sure it's folded in, and it should look something like that when it's done. Now what I usually do, I still leave these hands out. The hands I leave till last, and make sure that everything is folded in as tight as I can get it, like this. And that's how you'll know everything is sitting properly. Then I can come down here and close up the sides of the rat here by plugging things in to the various panels here. There we go. Like so. And now what you're supposed to do with the hands here is take these and kind of just fold it down, and then fold these elbows down. There's really no place to peg in to each other, which I think is a, whoops, we got this one upside down. There we go. I think that's a little bit of a missed opportunity, I guess, to make this thing like kind of hold together more solidly. But once you put the gun in here between his legs, it kind of spaces things properly and holds things a bit tighter in position. So once we have that, this is where I come back to the legs finally, because I kind of bend them out a little to make them go over that little piece of robot here, and it just makes the whole thing look nicer. So do that again, both sides. You know, work your front paws however you want him to stand, and work the back paws also. And there you go. I mean, he's back in his rat mode and he looks good. So yeah, this guy I think is worth picking up if you see him in store, HTS. I got mine off Hasbro Toy Shop. I don't think I'd pay ridiculous premiums for this guy. I know he's going to be expensive on your BBTSs and TF sources and stuff because he's sought after. But, you know, I mean, if you can get him for retail price, I think he's a good figure. So, this is T2RX6. I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and I'll see you next week.